Hello, 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 everybody. Hold on, I'm getting my Instagram to go live here. Let's see, here we go. Okay, I hope everyone's doing great today. I'm going to turn on the comments. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to turn on the comments. It's Lisa Copeland. I'm a couple minutes early, and I just want to give a couple minutes to let people jump on here. Today, I'm going to be talking about the state of the real estate market. And I've had people text me, what has taken you so long to make a comment? And what I'm talking about is this National Association of Realtors, this judgment that was put against us. And, you know, for you mere mortals out there that are not in the real estate industry, you're probably just now seeing it over the last few days. And it's something that we've known about probably since last October. I mean, we knew it was brewing. Honestly, I didn't think it would get to this point, but it did. So, you know, now we're kind of dealing with it. And I waited 3 days to come on because I wanted to read it. I wanted to listen to some experts. I wanted to listen to what our attorneys had to say. I wanted to listen to what top realtors in the industry had to say. I just went to Pilates. I feel like I needed a woo-saw before I did this today. And I want to open up with a couple of things. Now, if you disagree with me, okay, cool. I'm going to ask you, everybody, to stay civil in here because I want to shoot you guys and gals some facts. I want to tell you a little bit about myself and about my company and why I think that I needed to come forward and speak on this. So my broker is eXp Realty, and according to our stats, we are the largest by agent count and by number of transactions in the US. So we have over 90,000 agents. But from a sales standpoint, we sell more real estate than any other brokerage out there. Okay, those are the stats. Those are real. And within that 90,000 plus agents, 1,000 of those agents are in my organization. So, you know, that's, you know, I'm 1/90th of the largest company in the United States of America as a leader. And with that comes a lot of responsibility. It comes a lot of sleepless nights. You know, there's so many times that when you're a leader, like I never once said after this ruling came down on Monday, oh my God, what's going to happen to me? I'll always be okay. I know that. And I'm not being haughty or anything. I just, you know, I know how to maneuver tough markets. Okay. I had to do it in the auto industry when we had just put up a $40 million building. And the manufacturer of our car came and put a stop sell on it. I remember saying to my business partner at the time, what are we going to do? He said, we're going to sell used cars. I'm like, well, okay, we'll just go do that. Right. And we survived. And so I want to give you all some stats because I know that there's going to be two types of people that are on here today. There's going to be people in my industry, right? Realtors in the real estate industry. And then there's going to be consumers. Okay. But I want to give you some stats about the real estate industry. So I've already given you my stats, right? eXp Realty, we are the #1 when it comes to sales of transactions closed in 2023 and realtor count. Of that 90,000 agents, 1,000 of those agents fall in my organization. Like I take that really seriously, #1. And #2, I'm very proud of it because I've been able to build that in about 4 years. So I want to give you some stats about the industry. There's 1,554,000 members of NAR, National Association of Realtors. Okay. So there are more licensed people than that. But to call yourself a realtor, it's like, how do you say it right? To call yourself a realtor, you have to be a member of the association. And to use the MLS, you have to be a member of the association. So those of us who work for companies like Keller Williams and eXp and Coldwell Banker and Remax, we are all members of NAR. Okay. There are 2.39 million people employed in the real estate, rental, and leasing industry. And why am I giving you these numbers? Because we are a very important industry. And when there's as much misinformation that has been put out about this ruling that has been put out, and you've got 2.39 million people at stake, their jobs at stake, their livelihoods at stake, you have to do things that are very well thought out. All right. And that's what I've done. All right. The average realtor sells 2 to 10 houses a year. And the average realtor makes $59,000 a year. So, well, I've got to be careful what I say here, but when you have a judgment like this, and I see some of the comments that I've seen out there, and they act like realtors are out there and they're getting rich. Most realtors on my team, they're making a living and they're helping other people build their empires. 90% of millionaires attribute their wealth to real estate. So 90% of the millionaires in this country attribute their wealth to real estate. And don't you have to believe that the 2.39 million of us in this country that are in real estate have helped those millionaires become millionaires? I've helped a lot of people become millionaires. A lot. The average age of a realtor is 54 years old. It's their second career. I will tell you, I was 54 years old when I got my real estate license. So I find that so interesting. 60% of females, 60% of realtors are female. So the girls, right? 87% fail in the first 2 years. There's 106,000 brokerage firms in the country. So I want to give you these stats so that you can understand the magnitude and the importance of this conversation that we're going to have today. Okay. Here's some homeowner stats. The average person stays in their house for 8 years. The typical homeowner is 45 years old. 89% of realtors are independent contractors. I'm an independent contractor. If I sell nothing or my team sells nothing, I make nothing. Okay. And for sale by owners, account for 11% of sales. All right. So why does all of this matter? It matters because this is not an industry that has been out taking advantage of consumers. Now, is there or are there bad actors in every industry? 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. But I would say of the hundreds of transactions that I've closed, and my team, the last 2 years has closed over $1 billion in sales transactions in 2022 and in 2023, $1 billion each year. So all of that's been done. I have yet to encounter anybody that I've worked with, and even if it was somebody on the other side who worked for another brokerage here in Central Texas, I can tell you maybe once I worked with a guy that I was like, this guy's bad news. He's bad news to me. He's bad news to his clients, and he's bad news for my clients, right? So what did I have to do then? I had to go into extra mama bear mode when it came to my clients, and I did. And thank God I was in the transaction. So the average realtor is just like anybody out here that's watching this that is not a realtor. They care about their clients. They want what's best for their client. They fight for their clients. They look out for their clients. They try to guide their clients. They try to protect their clients. They become friends with their clients, right? This is not some shark game. And I had a very good friend of mine, former neighbor and client, send me a text yesterday morning. He's like, I'm watching Good Morning America or Today Show is one of those. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? Is, my son on there or something? Has he done something wrong that I don't know about? And he said, well, I heard that you're not going to get paid anymore. And so I texted him back and I said, no, we are going to get paid, the so the misinformation that has gone out over the last 3 days because people want clickbait. Good Morning America wants you to tune in so they can say realtors no longer getting paid 6%, mandatory commissions. Well, let me tell you something, y'all. Our association has never had a mandatory commission. I can charge someone 1%, I can charge them 10%, I can charge them 6%, I can charge them 3%, I can charge them whatever the market will bear and whatever they're willing to pay for my services and my expertise. I am typically a listing agent. So unless someone's a friend of mine, and I'm very protective of my friends, so I always handle them, I typically list homes. So if I have negotiated with all of my services, the 185 things that I'm going to do to market their home to maximize the value, to put the most money in their pocket, if that seller says to me, I agree to a 6% commission, I don't keep the 6%. I give up half of whatever I get and I put it into the MLS and I tell the other agents, I cooperate with all the other licensed realtors in my MLS. And I say, I'm going to split. And let me just say this. You don't, as a listing agent, I don't have to split my commission. I just choose to. I think it's the right thing to do. That's me. That's my business model. I'm just talking about me today. So if I get 6%, I put into the MLS that I'm going to give 3% to a buyer's agent if they bring us a client and an offer that my seller will accept. And if my seller accepts that offer, he or she knows full well how much they're going to be netting or making on the home because I tell them that up front. So, and then when I look at comparable sales in the MLS, and that's really important, I look and see, okay, in this neighborhood, the average compensation was 3% to a buyer's agent or 2.5%. It really doesn't go much lower than 2.5% in my market. 2.5%. Okay, so the cost, the price of the house, I figure in covering the compensation and what the other homes in the neighborhood had compensated the realtor for. Now, why do I bring that up? I bring it up because if all of a sudden buyer compensation goes away, because we're not really talking about listing agents here. We're not talking about what I do. There's the 10% that I gave you guys earlier that are going to sell their homes themselves. Cool. Knock yourself out. You're going to make less money and you're going to have more liability and you have a 3 to 4 times better chance of being sued. And there's nothing between you and a lawsuit, like a realtor and her E&O. But totally, capitalism drives this game. So if someone thinks they can do it better than me, knock yourself out. But the 90% of the homes that go on the market, right? So I put that compensation, that 50%, into the MLS. Now, I have never shown a home, and I don't believe any of my colleagues have either, based on what the compensation is. Oh, it's only paying 2%, so I'm not going to show this house. Oh, it's only paying 2.5%. Most of the time, I don't even look at it, to the point where now, after July, when this all goes into effect, potentially in July, it still has to be ratified by the judge and it has to be signed off by the DOJ. So none of that's been done yet. So this could all be for naught. Who knows? But it's July 15th that any of these MLS changes would take place. So, oh God, I'm like, what was I talking about? I was talking about the compensation in the MLS. So I have never, ever let that drive me as to what I'll show my clients. Why? Because under our code of ethics, my job is to make sure that I find my client the best property at the best price, right? looking for neighborhoods, looking for structure, for safety, the condition of the property, the condition of the neighborhood, what's the potential resale value, what does it look like how, my thing, this is me, I can't speak for any other realtors, but my thing is that I help people build generational wealth in real estate. So this is not a short game, like boom, throw the ball and now you've made $200,000. No. Okay, it's a long game. I want to tell you that if we acquire this property in 5 years, here's what it's going to be worth. Everybody I've dealt with has never pushed back on what I get paid for bringing them a deal and helping them make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 over 5 years. And I kind of equate it to, I could do my own taxes if I want to, but I pay my CPA, I shouldn't say we pay our CPA thousands and thousands of dollars to do all of our tax returns because we have several entities, companies, all that stuff, right? I could do it myself, but do I really want to stand on Judgment Day in front of the IRS because I've made a mistake, because I'm not licensed, because I don't do this every day, because I don't understand the loopholes? No. I want to pay my CPA to do it the right way and to keep me out of tax prison. Number two example. We have a bunch of LLCs and different entities for our companies. Could I go to LegalZoom and create my own entity for, I don't know, maybe $1,000 versus paying my attorney $5,000 to $6,000 to $7,000? Yep, I sure can. But do I really want to do that? Do I want to put the empire, my stuff, my worth, my company, everything on the line because I want to save a few bucks? No. And my last example, I could write my will online. Now I know my kids are cringing at this one. I would never, ever. I mean, I don't even know what the wills cost us, $8,000, $10,000, something. It's a lot. It's a lot. But when there's assets and companies and things to divide, I want to make sure that when I'm in the ground, that everything is distributed and done the way that I wanted it done because I've worked a lifetime to build this. So I'm not going to go try to do it in a $500 or $1,000 will kit. I'm just not. So I use those examples to tie it to real estate. I don't think anything changes for the listing agent. I think people will still hire me or not hire me. I got 2 new listings today. That's cool. They're paying, not a problem. But where I see that people could get in trouble, okay, and I'm talking to you consumers now, is if the seller does no longer want to pay a commission, which they've always had that option, by the way, guys. They've always had that option. I don't want to pay anybody. Just let them call you. Well, when they call me, and if I have to represent them, I no longer represent that seller. I'm in an intermediary situation. That means I don't represent anybody. I just pass information. That is such a waste of me. It's not even funny. So I think the people that get hurt in this is the buyers. If they're looking at a home and there's no compensation from the seller and the listing agent doesn't feel like that they want to give up any, and I understand that too. So I'm not taking any shots there. Then you now have an unrepresented buyer. Or the buyer could choose to treat that realtor like their attorney, their CPA, whatever that looks like, and offer compensation to be represented. And I am here to tell you, it'll be the best money spent. Again, real estate is a long game. You don't want to make any mistakes because when you make a mistake, it's expensive and it's tough. And you want something or someone between you, I'm talking about if you're a buyer, between you and the seller. You just do. You want someone to be able to negotiate on your behalf, for the repairs, to find the lending, to oh God, everything. Future values of the property. Should you move here? Should you move there? What does it look like again, I play a long game in real estate. All right. I'm not into, I don't flip houses personally. And people ask me all the time, Tariq Al Musa is your business partner. Why don't you flip houses? Because I play a long game. I get people into properties to help them build generational wealth, to create passive income. If you're in the flipping game, you're an active real estate person. And that isn't what my clients are looking for. Now, for all you flippers out there, good job. I mean, really, it is not my skill set. That's all I'm saying. So again, I'm talking about my specific thing. One of the smartest guys I know, and my very dear friend, Grant Cardone, he owns over $4.5 billion in real estate. Okay. Class A apartments. He always deals with a broker. He does. He talks about it. Okay. He's the smartest guy I know. We were at a luncheon when he was here a couple of weeks ago, and somebody was saying to him about this person in Dallas. He knew more stats than that person did. He's like, I know who that agent is. I know that property. I know this. I know that. I know this. I know that. As much as he knows, he still has a broker represent him. Okay. Does it cost a little bit of money? Sure. But do you want to get the best price, the best representation, but most importantly, the best protection on the largest asset you're going to buy? You do. You do. And so, the whole point of me coming on today was, number one, if you are a realtor, if you're in my team, I don't care who you're with, we are 1.6 million people in this great country that we live in. Okay. But the total industry is, what did I tell you guys a minute ago? 2.39. That is the total industry. There's a lot of us. I lay awake at night and I worry about I call them the 1,000 souls, but the 1,000 people that are in my organization who I know have had sleepless nights. And, and I've gotten a little bit of pushback because I have not come forward sooner, but I wanted to know what I know that I know before I just came on like every other talking head who's in a leadership position. I wanted to have my facts straight. All right. Now, everything I've told you, I know to be the truth. Okay. But it's ever changing because something different could come out in 5 minutes. It has not been ratified by the judge or signed off by the DOJ. Okay. Department of Justice. So anything I'm saying is subject to change, number one. Number two, these are my opinions and my opinions only. They are not the opinions of eXp Realty. This is just me doing what I do, and y'all know me. My followers know me. I've always liked to fight. I have. I think that's why I've always been so involved in politics. From the local level to United States Senate. You guys saw a few weeks ago, I had Carrie Lake in town from Arizona because I just freaking love her. I just love her. I don't even know what else to say. And if you hate me for that, you hate me for that. All the way up to the presidential politics. And so when you're as involved as I am in the political arena, you get very used to taking shots, right? But I believe that if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. And whoever's watching this, we may or may not agree on any of that. That's okay too. That's you. You do you. I'll do me. I'll do what But that being said, I'm so used to the misinformation in the press. So this morning at 10 a.m., I did a national interview. Literally said, and the guy texted me yesterday, and he said, "Hey, we want to ask you some questions about Central Texas, and we want to talk to you about this NAR settlement." So when the reporter called me this morning, I said, "Hey, well, where are you out of?" And he goes, "New York." And I was like, okay. And we had a good conversation, but he started to cite off to me stuff about this NAR settlement. And his name's Dan. And I said, "Dan, whoa, stop. You're so off base. You're so off base. That isn't right." And he's like, "Really? Well, this fact sheet that I've got, and this is AP, and I don't care what the AP says. I'm telling you, this has to do with sharing commissions, posting commissions in the MLS, and buyer's representation. And the realtors that I know have always done it right. Are we going to have to adjust and change? Yep, it looks like it. That's okay. Sometimes the greatest things come out of pivots. As shitty as COVID was, for lack of a better word, and the lockdowns and the this and the that, it was really good for the real estate industry. Shoot me now, come at me in comments, but it was, interest rates were sub 3, and we were busy. We were so busy. I never took a day off during COVID. Masks on, gloves on, and go show property. I just want to, I know I'll have a lot of clients and former clients that have watched this. And I hope that me and my team have done the job and have been your advocate, and that you have seen the work we've done behind the scenes. I think I've got about 12 listings right now, 2 more with the 2 coming on after today. That's a full-time job, y'all. I work 7 days a week managing these listings. Like, it's insane the amount of work and marketing, and you guys see my social and all the stuff we do and the TV show we film. Like, I work 7 days a week. I am not complaining. I love what I do, and I'm grateful every single day I get to do it with the people I get to do it with. Like, I'm not complaining, but I'm just telling you, when you start looking at what your realtor makes per hour, for the stress, the work, the exposure, right? Legally, all of that, they're not getting rich. Number 2, home prices. I want to make sure I'm saying things right, because this is such a hot topic right now. Home prices, if a seller doesn't want to pay a buyer's commission, they're not going to be able to sell the house for the same price, because it will not comp out the same, meaning it will not be comparable to the house next door that paid a real estate commission. So I dropped the price of the house 3%. Why not keep it at the same and pay the 3% and have lots of people working for you? This market still is not great yet. It's okay. It's better. It's picking up for sure. But the second that a seller goes out and says, nope, I'm not going to pay someone to do their job. I mean, does that make sense? And oh, by the way, now the comparable on your house is not the same, because I'm going to compare it to the guy next door that paid out a commission, which is all in the appraised amount. So there has to be an adjustment there. So I don't know. I think listing agents that are watching this, myself, I'm talking to myself, we have a very big responsibility to educate our sellers, to show them that we more than make up for in what we get for the homes, and how we represent them on repairs and all kinds of stuff, that we more than pay for ourselves. And I think it's going to be an education process to our sellers. But at the end of the day, commissions have always been negotiable. They were never set by NAR, ever, 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 ever. I can charge nothing. And I have done that before. I represented a church. I gave every dime back to the church. I thought, ooh, I'm not messing with Jesus. And it was a 4% commission. I donated every dime back to the church. I was great with it. I made 0, but I got lots of points in heaven. And to me, that's super important, right? So I made 0, and my company was fine with it. EXP does not call me and say, you only made this on this, or this on this, or that. I never get those phone calls. That doesn't happen. So commissions are negotiated. So my advice to every realtor out there is earn your money. Become a market leader. Become knowledgeable. Be an authority in your space. Represent your clients well. Fight like hell for them, whether you're representing a buyer or a seller. Make them see, man, I could not do this without them. They're amazing. I see the value. I'm playing the long game in real estate. So I play the long game, and I know that what Lisa did, and she got a $7,000 commission for doing it, I'm going to make up for that in spades over the next 5 years. Okay? Think of us like your attorney, like your CPA. All that stuff can be DIY. all day long. Go to whatever it is, LegalZoom, whatever.com. But there is no way in hell I'm putting my empire in my own hands. I'm going to leave it to my attorney. I'm going to leave it to my CPA to keep me out of trouble, to maximize my tax benefits, to minimize my risk. So anybody who's looking to acquire their largest asset and who is not in the real estate business and who does not see this every single day of the week and work in it every single day of the week and work in the market every single day of the week, it's foolish. It's foolish not to have representation. If you're truly looking to build an empire, if you're truly looking to maximize your investment, if you're truly looking for protection and safeguards, see, if you as a seller make a mistake and I represent you, they're coming after me. They're coming after me, they're coming after my company, and they're coming after my E&O policy. If you make a mistake, they're coming after you. Okay? And it's the same thing with a buyer. If a buyer makes a mistake, you own, we used to say this in the car business, if the car breaks, you own both houses, right? If you buy the wrong house in the wrong neighborhood, you own it. You own it. So anyways, I hope this helps. I see a lot of my team is on here. I love you guys and gals. I'm so grateful for you. I take your calls. I don't care if it's Sunday night at 7 or in the morning or Sunday at 7 at night. I don't care. I'll do anything for you. And, we are 1.6 million. That's a lot of people. Entrepreneurs that help keep the wheels on the bus in this country. We represent the largest product, or I don't know if it's GDP, that may not be the right, but we represent the largest segment of money moving around in this country on a monthly basis. If real estate crashes, so goes our country. And we are the ones who keep it moving forward. I am always looking for deals. I look for deals and I pick up the phone and I call my investor clients. I'm like, what's your appetite? I just found a deal. What's your appetite? Which is my standard line. And some, you guys might be on here and you're laughing going, oh God, if Lisa calls and says, what's your appetite? Yep. I look for deals every single day. And I bring my clients deals. We bring clients into the market that were not even in the market. Good realtors do. So we are really an economic stimulus package, any way you look at it. Now, you guys know I'm going to spin this the right way because I believe that every single one of us that's in real estate that is watching this, I don't care what company you're with because we're all in this together, I believe that what we do matters. And if I can support you, if I can give you a pep talk, I don't care what company you're with, I don't care where you live, call me, send me a note, do whatever. I'm happy to support you. I'm going to fight to protect buyer's agency with my sellers and make sure that they understand the importance of separating me and a buyer, of creating more interest in the property, all of it, right? So I guess that's it. I don't know that I have a whole lot more to say, but just that I'm here. If you need me, reach out. I want to support you. I love this industry. I love the people I get to work with every single day, whether you're in mortgages or title or insurance or you're on my team or you're on someone else's team. I don't care. I have mad respect for what you do every day. Getting up in the morning and making it happen, protecting buyers and sellers, keeping this great economy, this great country moving forward. You're my colleague and you're my friend. So if there's anything I can do in the future, let me know. Don't lose heart. Continue being great. Continue being excellent. And we'll keep doing what we do. Bye, everybody.